Hello, 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 everybody. My name is Linda G. Robert. I'm your Back in the Groove Again coach, and today I'm doing something that's different. You know, I haven't done a live for a while, and I thought I should keep you posted as to what's happening in my life and why I'm doing what I'm doing today. Now, you know that, I love talking about change, and I love the process of change, although it scares the living bejesus out of me. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the change that I'm going through. I've made a huge decision, and I've decided to sell my house. I've decided to sell my house. And I have to tell you that this is something that I've been, toying with for quite a while. I tried it 3 years ago, didn't really work out at all for me. And then I kind of put it out of mind, out of sight, out of mind. You know how it goes. And just recently, my son said to me, "Why don't you just move back?" So I thought, why not move back? If not now, when? As you get older, there's so many different things you think about. And that's one of the maybe advantages of getting older, but maybe some disadvantages of getting older. You start thinking of how many years you have left and what maybe you should be doing instead of doing what you are doing. Or I should say maybe what you could be doing instead of what you're doing. Anyways, so I've made a decision. Right, it's technically it's sold, and I'm moving out on the 4th of November. So there's a lot of unknowns, and to be honest with you, initially I was really, really nervous because I didn't know where the heck I was going, what I was doing. A lot of unknowns. So I had to, take it one step at a time. I had to bring it back to right here, right now, and not think about the future too much. And now I've made some decisions, and part of those decisions, I have to say, became clearer once I decided to think about what I wanted and not involve other people in my equation. So I talked to my son, I asked him a few questions, and he said, "Mom, keep me out of the equation. Do what you want to do." That really helped me too. So, food for thought. If you're making any big decisions, you might need to keep things simple and think about what you personally want to do. So, after all of that, I've made some decisions, and things are starting to be a little bit more clear. But there's always a little bit of nervousness, right? A lot of it. So I thought what I would do today is I would pull some cards. So I've got, and I don't normally do this, right? I'm a teacher, I'm a coach. I'm here to help you live your best life right now. I'm not a card reader or card puller. I've done it a few times, but I just want to show you the decks that I'm going to be pulling the first card out of. So this first deck here, the Psychoteric card from John Holland. And this, I guess we'll say that this is for anyone. I'm going to pull cards for anyone who's going through a change, a big change, and who might need some spiritual guidance as they're going through this change. So I've got my cards here. I'm just going to, I was going to say stir them. Just going to shuffle them a little bit here. So this is for anyone who's going through a big change, who needs some spiritual guidance. All right, I'm going to pull a card. Oops, there. This is the card I'm pulling. Hi, Marianne. Allô, Marianne, ça va bien? Hey, je t'ai envoyé un message. Je ne sais pas si tu es encore en ville ou non. En tout cas, this is the message, the card that I'm pulling out. And because I'm not a card reader, I have to look at the book. And of course, this is the book that goes with the card. So number 3, black number 3. Solar plexus chakra. Okay, merci. Merci. All right. So I have to find number 3. Oh, there it is. All right. I don't know. This, I don't know. This, I might have to pull another card. But the solar plexus chakra, it's more about the chakra. And, well, okay, these are interesting things. So the key facts: color is yellow, sound is ram, element is fire, the glands are the pancreas and the adrenal, and the key words is I can. I like that. I can. And what it says here, the solar plexus chakra is located between the navel area, just below the rib cage. It represents power, vitality, willpower, self-esteem, and confidence. The energy center where your emotions and feelings are recorded. This chakra is associated with clairsentience, the inner feelings, which is the major psychic reception area. To balance the chakra, you may want to try yoga, dance, and movement, or breathe breath work, with color. In addition, be aware of people who drain your energy. Workshops and classes that focus on empowerment will help you open and harmonize this area. So, you know, when I'm reading this, I definitely read the I can word. That's really important to me, to know that I can. And I know that I can, but I need to sometimes, you know, rely on outside guidance to know that I can. And I really like here, it represents power, vitality, willpower, self-esteem, and confidence. So, you know, as I'm going through this change, and as you're going through, you know, a possible change through too, think about the power that you have. Like in my case, like this is a huge change for me. I'm selling the house, but I'm also moving away from a place that I've been living in for 10 years, and moving away from a city. You know, I've been in this city for 10 years, but I've also been in the Ottawa area since '07. So I'm going to be moving away from that area. And I have to tell you that I've made so many awesome friends, and you know, Mediane included. So many, many, many awesome friends here. More friends here that I can tell you that I've made, you know, in my other city. In my other city, I worked all the time, and the friends that I had were more colleagues. These are, you know, real friends. Now I have real friends in the other city, but here I'm leaving behind, you know, some real good friends, and that's going to be tough. So what I like here is self-esteem and confidence as well. The power to choose, the power to do what we really want to do. And I think that's huge, right? So although, you know, this solar plexus chakra doesn't speak to me necessarily, but I like the keywords that it represents: the willpower, the self-esteem. And this gives me courage. When I think about what this chakra represents, it gives me courage. It gives me the courage and the willpower to continue what I'm doing. It's a huge change, but it's been something that I wanted to do for a long time. So that's the chakra. I think what I'll do is I'll pull another one too from this deck. Pull another one from this deck. It's the first time actually that I pull a chakra card. So I'm gonna just keep shoveling these cards. And here, I got another one here. The rest and rejuvenate. That's another interesting name. Rest and rejuvenate. So that's number 4, rest and rejuvenate. And you know, with these cards here, he looks at the color and the numbers that are important too, but I'm not really looking at that right now. So I'm just going to look at number 4, rest and rejuvenate. This card implies that a period of rest, meditation, rejuvenation, and recuperation is in order. It usually comes forward when you're encountering or coming out of a particularly emotional or mentally taxing experience. The number 4 in numerology means foundation. So this is a time to heal, to be with your soul, and to continue moving steadily forward. Allowing space just for your reflection is both needed and long overdue. Reposing and taking moments for yourself will give you the opportunity to look at a problem or situation instead of being in it. It's a chance to stand back, view your life with clarity and renewed appreciation, and see where changes be made. Changes can be made to create a healthier and stronger foundation, enabling you to take your first step. So whoever's listening to me right now, this card, Rest and Rejuvenation, what came up for you when you were listening to me read this card? For me, it's hello, Kumara. Nice to meet you. Thanks for viewing me on YouTube. Yes, I'm on YouTube today on my channel, and I'm also on Facebook as well. My Back in the Groove Again business page. I'm good, thank you. How are you doing? How are you doing, Kumara? So I'm reading cards because I'm going through a change, a big change. And so this card here tells me that a period of rest, meditation is in order. And it's kind of interesting because I've decided to keep things as simple as possible with my move. I did get an address, by the way, Marianne. J'ai demandé à mon fils si je peux utiliser son adresse. Si je peux utiliser son adresse. So, you know, I have a forwarding address, and besides, my lawyer asked me for a forwarding address as well because I'm selling my house. And well, you can find me on Facebook under Back in the Groove Again. Back in the Groove Again. That's my my coaching name, Back in the Groove Again. So you can find me there, and you can like me or follow me. So I think, you know, because a move can be so daunting, I've decided to do it really simple, and I like that. I have a friend that's helping me with that. And I hate moving, and I think that's partly why I've hesitated with making a big change like this. But this time, it seems to all be working out, right? It's all seems to be working out, and I believe that once I finalize everything, November 4th, then I can definitely rest. I can definitely rest and rejuvenate. In fact, my plan is to go to Mexico for a few months, so I'm planning on chilling out and relaxing. Thank you very much, Kumara. So this card, it means to rest. So change, you know, change does imply, usually it implies stress. But with this card, it reminds us that when we're going through a change, major change or small changes, it doesn't really matter. I'm going through a major change, I think, or I will be going through a major change. I'm in a kind of transition period right now. And so when you're going through a change, it's important to rest, to take a step back, because this is what is reminding us. It's a chance to stand back, view your life with clarity. So keep those things in mind, right, when you're going through a change. Don't think too far ahead, because I was thinking too far ahead, and that was worrying and concerning me. And I noticed that, you know, when I rest or meditate or when I sleep, usually in the morning, I wake up fairly early. My mind wakes up, I should say, fairly early. And then it starts thinking of solutions. It's wonderful. I really love that. So this card, Rest and Rejuvenate, reminds us that while we're going through a change, it's also very important to rest and rejuvenate. All right, so that was 2 cards from the Psychic Tarot. Now, next one. Next one. Next one comes from, now I have to tell you a little bit about this card, this deck, Healing with the Angels. When I first chose my decks, this wasn't one that I was going to choose. I didn't want anything related to healing. So I thought I took another deck, but I ended up by getting this one. Hint, hint, right? I guess maybe we need some healing. So that's the deck that I have. And I'm going to be, these are the cards here. I'm going to be pulling those cards. No, I can't come to Sri Lanka, Kumara. No, I can't come to Sri Lanka. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. All right. I'm going to pull out a card from these Healing with the Angels Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. This one here. All right, let's see what this one is. This one says nature. Nature. All right. And let's see what this card says about nature. And of course, I'm reading from the book, directly reading from the book. What is my job? Well, I'm a coach. I'm a life coach and a career coach, but I'm also a teacher. I teach English as a foreign language. And I don't normally pull cards. All right, nature. Card meaning, spending time alone in nature is important for you, and it is. Even 5 minutes in a garden would be healing for you right now. By drawing this card, the angels ask you to interact with nature more often, every day if possible. This card also signifies that you may be happier living in a more rural setting. If you have thought about moving away from city life, consider this card as additional validation. And this card may be encouraging you to choose an occupation involving plants or animals. For instance, you may enjoy gardening, nursery or veterinary work, pet sitting, or delving into the world of animal communication. Your angels and the nature angels are helping you discover and give your gifts to the world. Help them to help you by spending more time in nature. Interesting. So again, we're talking about change here, right? These cards that I was pulling from the decks are cards that will help us manage change and, spiritual guidance on how to manage change. And in my case, I'm selling my house. It's huge change. I'm moving away from the city. It's huge. I'm old enough, Kumara. I'm old enough. Kumara is asking me on YouTube how old I am. Well, if you look at some of my videos on YouTube, you'll see that I have a series on love in our 60s. So that gives you a hint. That gives you a hint. At first, I want to just clarify that. At first, that series was called Sex in Our 60s. But I decided to change the title because it was attracting kind of things that I didn't want to attract. Anyways, I do live in Canada right now, and I will be living in another country, but for a short period of time. So when I read this card, nature, when you're hearing this card, nature, what does it mean to you, right? Again, we're talking about change, but have you ever noticed that when we're going through change, and I know I'm like that too, I love walking in nature. I have a couple of great trails that I love. I walk La Forêt La Rose, trails in La Forêt La Rose. Actually, on the weekend, I went to a greenbelt, Mer Bleu area. I can't remember the name of the trail, but it's in nature. And in that particular trail, they have a lot of bird houses. It's a great trail. And I've been gardening this year, and I have to tell you, I'm so proud of my garden. I've got great zucchinis. You can check out another video that I created on that. Not about the zucchinis, but about planting seeds. And I have my zucchinis that are almost ready. No, not the zucchinis, the spaghetti squash. They are huge and they're turning yellow, and I'll be able to pull them out like any time now, really. And I have to tell you that I've really enjoyed gardening. So, this is what this is talking about. And so that I know personally that wherever I move to, I'll have to include nature in that move, that change. And as I'm going through the change, I know that going towards nature or being in nature helps me manage change better. So I hope that this is a healing card. When we are in nature, it certainly does to help heal us, that's for sure. It's almost like when I'm in nature and I just pause for a moment, I can feel connected to what's around me. And I always thank the big guy for leading me to that particular space. And I'm sure that, as I'm going through this change, he's or she, whoever the big guy or big gal is, will be guiding me along the way. So that was the card. Now the last card, and I always pull a card from the Louise Hay and Robert Holden card. I love these cards. Life Loves You card. And although these aren't necessarily kind of meditative cards, they always have a really good message. So I'm going to pull a card from this one. And these are positive affirmations or thoughts that can help us during change. So let me pull a card out. All right, I love this card too. So it says on this side, it says, I trust that life wants the best for me. True. And on the other side, pay attention to how your life is unfolding. Notice how life doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. Well, this is, and most of the time I do this. There's always a card or cards that speak directly to me, and I hope they speak directly to you too. Pay attention to how your life is unfolding. Notice how life doesn't happen. It happens for me. So, as I'm going through this change, selling of the house, the moving closer to my kids, it's huge. It's really huge. And it's something that I want to do for a long time. And I think how it's happening, it happens for me. How it's happening has also really been helpful to me as well. It's less stressful. So this change I'm going through, sometimes we complicate things. Sometimes we complicate things and we don't really have to. So ask yourself that question. How are you complicating things when you're going through a change? Do you really need to complicate things that much? Because in fact, you have to trust that life wants the best for you, and you have to pay attention to how your life is unfolding. It doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. I really love that part. So everything that's happening is happening for us. And I think that's a great place to end this live call. Thank you for those that were watching me. My name is Linda G. Robert. I'm your Back in the Groove Again coach, helping you live your best life right now so you can love what you do, even going through change. You can love what you do while you're going through change. Remember, it's a transition. It's a transition. And I'm not quite at the new beginning yet. I'm in that transition phase. So lots of mixed feelings, lots of interesting things that are going on. If you want more information on my services, you can go to my website at backinthegrooveagain.com. You can send me an email at backinthegrooveagain@gmail.com. I would love to help you live your best life now. Bye. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.